everyone, it's 8 from Camp Moseywood. Today we are going to learn about some different camp stoves. We'll do a camp stove and then a backpacking stove. So let's get started. We're going to start with our basic camping stove here. Not everyone has a grill like that when they go camping, but a nice camping stove is pretty easy when you're going car camping. So this is a 2-burner propane stove. So we need our stove, we need our propane, and we'll need matches. So when we go ahead and open it up, you will see that inside there's one more piece that is very important, and this part could get lost, but it is the stem here. So that's the other piece that it usually is tucked up inside, but you need to make sure that you have that as well. All right, so we're gonna make sure that we have a nice sturdy surface to cook on. So my picnic table here is pretty sturdy. We're gonna do that. As I open it up, I have these wind flaps that I'm gonna hook out. And then I am going to go ahead and put my stem on here. Just screws on. And you're going to make sure you're screwed on nice and tightly. And then I'm going to take my propane. I'm going to take the lid off the propane. That's a little plastic piece. I'm going to make sure it doesn't blow away because I don't want litter. And then I'm going to screw on the propane. Before I actually screw on the propane, I'm going to make sure that both of my burners are off, which they are. So I'm going to go ahead and screw on the propane here. And that's going to just sit nicely there. And next thing, I'm going to get ready to light it. All right, in order to light my stove, I am going to get my match out and ready to go before I ever turn my propane on. I'm going to turn it on. I don't need it super high. Turn it on, light my match, light my propane, bring my match away, blow my match out. And then it's just like the burner on your stove. You can make it higher, or you can make it lower. And you don't necessarily need it super high to cook your stuff. So there you go. We have 2 burners and they work the same with just 2 different knobs. When you're done, you're gonna wanna wait for it to cool down because you don't wanna be able to touch anything here when it's hot or you'll burn your hands. But once it's nice and cool, making sure your burners are off, you're gonna go ahead and unscrew your propane. And sometimes you'll hear a little bit of a pop like that. And that's okay, that's just the gas releasing, okay? So then I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew my stem here. And I'm gonna place my stem back in for storage. I'm gonna take my wind guards here and tuck them back in. And I'm gonna go ahead and shut my stove and I'm good to pack it up. All right, next we're gonna look at a backpacking stove. A backpacking stove is much lighter weight than that camp stove. A lot of times you'll carry it in a bag or something, but you might even lose that bag when you go backpacking just to make it even lighter. But it's something like this, usually pretty compact, pretty easy to pack away. So you have your backpacking stove, you have your fuel, so in this case we're gonna use some butane, and of course your matches. And you are all right. In order to use our backpacking stove, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that my knob is off, and then I am going to go ahead and put it on, and it just screws right onto the fuel here. So I'm gonna screw it on until it's nice and tight. If it's not quite tight enough, then it starts leaking a little bit, and I don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna screw it on there, and then I'm gonna find a nice steady place to put it. Sometimes that's a picnic table, but sometimes the rock or even the ground, but a place where once it's there, it's not like up on something so it's tilted or anything like that. You want it nice and flat so that when your pot's on top, that it's ready to go. You're gonna spread the burner parts out so that your pot would fit nicely on there. And then again, I get my match ready before I turn my fuel on. So I have my match ready. I'm going to start turning it on nice and lightly. You can hear the gas going. Light, apparently not. Turn it off because, you know, you don't want the gas to just keep spreading. So turn it on, light your match. There you go. Make sure your match is out. And then again, you can make it higher or your flame lower for whatever you need. And then when you're done, turn it off. Okay? Now, remember, this is hot when it's done. So you don't want to immediately, okay, I'm done, I'm going to unscrew it. No, we're going to let it. All right, now that it's nice and cool, we're going to go ahead and unscrew our stove. We're going to flatten these so that they're compressed again. And we are going to unscrew it. Again, you might hear a little bit of pop. Take it apart so that you can carry it out like this. One safety thing, when you have your fuel, you want to make sure that that fuel is not in your sleeping area, okay? So even after you've used it, after you've unscrewed it, I don't want to put this in my tent with me because it could start leaking out slightly. So we want to make sure that we keep this in a well-ventilated area. And just like we're not going to build a campfire in the middle of our tent, we're not going to light any kind of stove in our tent either, because we want to make sure that we're in a well-ventilated area and we are safe and ready to have our food on our outdoor. Thanks for joining me in learning about backpacking stoves and camping stoves today, and I hope that you get to use them in the outdoors soon.